So, Captain, we spoke once.
Yeah.
And then Denny was like, do a podcast. I was like, yeah.
For real.
I was like, yeah, okay. And then we did like 6 podcasts.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever talked to you besides debriefing more than that, dude. And it's crazy because I'm not saying like it's all business, but I just feel like I know you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of the weird things that like happened during this time where it was instantly just trust and respect right off the bat, where you're just like, oh, we're gonna make it happen, we're gonna do this. And then we did our first one, and it was fucking like, it was like 8 minutes into it. I was like, holy shit, like, this is something. Like,
yeah,
this is really something. Like, it really was. And I don't know about you, but I think that like the approach that we go with it, like, it just works really well. Not to say that I don't want to have conversation with you, because I absolutely do. I love this shit.
No, for sure. And I know
it's a fucking awesome vibe, right?
Yeah.
But like, how if most people looked at the way that you and I talk to each other, they would be like, yo, those guys have been friends for years.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know, dude.
Because we're just right there. Like, we fucking link in on that kind of shit. I love that vibe. I really do. It's awesome.
No, you bring a really good point, because I'm just like, I talk to you and I'm just like, oh, I feel like I just know you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just like, it's wild to even think like that, because obviously you've gone through your journey and shit like that. I'm like, I have no idea what he's gone through, but like I could respect it, because I'm like, oh, he's been through some mental journey every time you talk on his stream, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And when we discuss like there's been so much more reaching out on like the personal side of things, like when we talk about the burnout and stuff, like that shit hits hard for me. So knowing that you understand that part, like, I lean on you when that kind of shit happens, and it really does like make a better fucking vibe for everything, because I know that I can go to certain people for certain aspects of my mental inability to cope with some stuff.
Oh yeah,
it makes it work for me. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I mean, amongst Fluff and Denny and a couple other people, you have made me feel less alone in this journey, because like a lot of my real life friends, my roommate, thank God, dude, like he understands, and like to be honest, he's like a brother to me. Really, I've known him for so long, and I tell him, I'm like nerding out on like, dude, look, like Eddie came by, or like I was on the front page, and like this, he's like, oh, that's really cool, and he's just like clapping me on and shit like that. I've never had that support. So before that, I was just talking to you, talking to the stream team, talking to people, and I'm just like, no, you guys get it, bro. Like, you guys get the streaming space.
Such a saturated space when you look at it in the macro, but when you look,
hey, what's up, Liz?
Oh, hi, Liz. Oh, hey.
Special Liz is like, no, I gotta hide from the camera, dude.
Like, wait, what are you doing here?
Yeah, Liz looks like she's sucking you off. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna lie, that looked wild. Yo, dude,
those days are over, Liz.
Liz, we're done,
here.
Liz.
We're not allowed to do that shit on Kick anymore. God. Like, fuck. Sorry about that. It's so unprofessional. Like,
oh my God, bro. Your wife is amazing, dude.
She's the vibe. She's the vibe.
You won the jackpot, dude. And
I absolutely did. Like, I got the lottery win.
Yeah. So okay, so I'm 30. You know, I might look young than you. I know you're like 22, whatever.
Yeah. You're too cute.
Yeah,
you're too cute.
Put it in perspective though, man. Like I'm talking to people, and I'm perusing whatever. But how does Liz provide? Because I don't even know. That yeah, the whole genre, well, not genre, but like the whole hobby of streaming, people perceive you. You know, how does
Yeah.
Liz deal with it? You know what I mean? I guess.
So like the beginning of my time streaming, like the first couple years and shit, like we didn't really do like it was me doing my thing. Like I would go to my restaurant job and I
Okay.
work till whatever time, and then I work like 7 hours in the streaming world. I'd sleep for a couple hours, and then I just like redo it every day. Like we were very separate. Like I was so fucking uh it was a rough time. I was so focused on doing because I wanted to have that not having a paycheck mentality.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
wanted to give to the family, and I wanted to do all that. We just didn't have a lot of time at that time. But with us being together from so young, from being like, we were like, I was 15 years old, 16 years old when we
Oh
got
shit.
together.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
we've been together for 20 plus. We've been married for I fucked up there when I said a thing with a date.
You're doing good, dude. I mean,
I fucked up there on
we'll
that one.
delete the VOD, dude. It's like
Yeah,
it's game
yeah,
over,
yeah.
dude.
Don't delete the no.
So
Like,
no, but like is there like a prom pic or
oh
some?
yeah, oh yeah. Like I fucked 15 years old. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna throw it up. Hold
Wow,
on.
damn.
Move my
So
Discord.
high school and shit like that though. Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah. I went to a different. Like I was a junior. No, I was a sophomore. She was a junior when we got together.
Oh, she's
And
older than you.
then, yeah,
Oh, she's
yeah,
a
1 year
cougar,
older.
dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she was statutory raping me for 1 year. Everybody, if you guys
Oh
want to
my
transfer.
god, dude.
Like,
No, facts though, facts though.
for real. And then we just honestly, what has happened recently with the way that the last like 6 or 8 months, 10 months have gone,
Okay.
it's been a how can I elevate what she's doing and how does she elevate what I'm doing? And then we work on each other's businesses and promote it and
Yeah.
make it happen. It's a big thing that like her shit is as important as mine.
Yeah, and
Just like all of my homies.
it's cool, and like I really and I never knew Liz till this year, and then she's like doing this and that and whatnot for the team, and then
Yeah.
I'm perusing a little bit more. I'm like, oh, what's Liz do? And I stumbled upon her Etsy shop, and I thought
Yeah.
the bags were really cute and stuff and everything. I'm a
Yeah.
guy, so I like a wallet, but you know what I mean, like
Right.
that's really cool, dude. And
That's
I
vibes right there though.
that's
Bam.
vibes, dude.
Right? Like, yo, like wallets and shit, Liz. Get on it. Fuck.
So I mean, like obviously, like for
I
the
dig
L
that shit.
for like LS, it would be cool. Eventually, I think next year we're like, Fluff, I, and everybody, a lot of other people were like trying to think of like future opportunities and like future things. I don't know, man. I feel like LS, like we got something going, dude, and
For real.
it's just
Really,
it's
huge.
cool.
It is a extremely happy time, and the happy times, they're not. It's one of those moments where like I'm watching so many people create
Yeah,
through happy times, and it's so fucking like I can wake up every morning and see something more beautiful that happened in the community than the day before. And it's like,
yeah, that's a good
this
point.
is a fucking moment.
Yeah,
Like, where the fuck, where's the, you're watching right now, right? Like, and fuck, like, I don't mean to make this a negative thing.
no,
But
say
we're
it.
watching right now on Twitch, right? Everybody's chasing this fucking meta, and there's this
Mm-hmm.
men versus women, and there's this
Mm-hmm.
fucking thing going on. We're over here. What are we doing? Just fucking having a good time, spreading love and enjoying ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? Keep your meta. Keep
Yeah.
your fucking nonsense. Keep all that shit over there. Like, keep that vibe going.
Yeah.
Even if it comes over here,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
fine, because everyone's gonna do their own thing regardless.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because like that's what I was thinking. Like so Jen Fox, who recently got signed by Kick, is doing
Yeah.
that. And Jen, I don't
Yeah.
know what Again,
Yep.
I don't really know the meta. I don't really know what Jen Fox does besides, besides being really pretty.
Right.
And she brought it over to Kick. But the thing is like no one's talking about that on Kick. Like Kick, I'm sorry, Kick creators, right?
Right.
I see
right.
Jen Fox doing that. I'm like, all right, whatever. Because
That's
it's
your
Kick.
thing.
Because it's Kick. Like I'm like, content is content. People will consume whatever they want. They're an adult, and that's
Absolutely.
when I look at the Kick platform, everyone's an adult. Everyone is doing content, even if it's PG-13 or M-rated. I know where to go because I'm 30. But if I'm exactly. But if I'm a parent, which when I think to myself, I would be a really good dad because of my upbringing and all this.
Yep.
I would talk to, Timmy or Jessica, whatever. These are fake names, but I would look at them and be like, hey, by the way, your dad does this and I stream on this. And I don't want you to guys look at this because I know parental controls. I can lock the router. I can lock this, whatever. But my parenting, I know you might be different, but my parenting might be, hey guys, your dad was a fuck up. This is why. I don't want you guys to look at this, but if you do, ask me questions. I'm a very open person.
Right. That's how I roll.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I got 2 daughters. Like I bring them on. You know what I mean? Like we string Roblox sometimes.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like my
cute.
content changes all the time.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point was when I came over here, it was like I didn't have to sit into a category. It was like I could be different things. I could be a dad. I could be a dad at sometimes. I could be a fucking I have my entertaining times.
Yeah.
I wear my underwear on stream,
I know you do
on stream. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And humans are dynamic, right? Like and it's
flowing differently.
It's so interesting when anybody over 18, I'd say even over anybody over 25 who's got a frontal lobe looks at us and looks at content and be like, no, this doesn't belong here. And it's like, well, duh, it doesn't. Like, you know what I mean? It's not, number one, it should be the platform's job, but then number two, it should be your job. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want to shit on Twitch, but it's like, let us know what you want it to be. If you want it to be this type of shit, I'm cool with women getting their bag, but if it's like, if that's what you want, you tell us. That's the platform. If you don't, if you want the platform to be esports, you want the platform to be creators getting advertisements. You want the creator to be the creator. Well, I'm gonna say it and respectfully, banks hate sex work. Don't have it on your platform. That's it. Simple as that.
And they literally, what you're seeing right now is they're just chasing numbers.
Bags,
Their
hustling,
numbers aren't as good as they used to be. And I know that this is a small one, but this platform has had a big impact on that. Like,
oh yeah, it's moved the meta.
Twitch hasn't had the numbers that they've had before. When you go pull in the billions of dollars of the profit and whatever they did, now they're not doing that shit anymore.
Yeah,
like they have executives that have to answer to other people, the board members, and all this other stuff. So they're literally just scrambling at this point to figure out how to make the most money possible. And that's the scariest part of everything, is they will do streamer versus streamer shit all day to make sure they make the most amount of money possible. And that is the most disgusting part of it all, is the attacking that they make streamers do versus other streamers. I hate that shit. Whether I disagree or agree with your content, there's one common grounds that we can all say is a legitimate thing. If I don't want to watch it, I don't have to.
Yeah.
That's it. I can look away and I can not be a part of it. But if we go ahead and we try to say who's right and who's wrong about the way the content is created and the way that streaming happens, we go into a rabbit hole of nonsense that then the platforms take over and they go, ooh, we got a big dub right now because we're watching these little guys who aren't getting anything from us fight each other.
Yeah.
And putting our name in their mouths. And like Will Smith was like, yo, keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth.
Yep.
And that's all I'm saying. It's like when it happens, they know it's advertisement, so it's a vibe for them. Like they know
Absolutely.
that.
Free
And
marketing.
and
Yeah.
honestly, it's content for us too. Like I can turn
Absolutely.
around, Twitch fucked me in the asshole hard without lube, and I can talk about that because that's my fucking shit. Like that was my claim to coming over to kick. Is because they did what they did and they didn't support me. So see you later.
Yeah.
Boom, done. Mhm.
No. It's just wild to have something that's happening right now, and like again, to preface it, I don't care how women or men get their bag. Sex work is
Yeah,
work, and I get it.
yeah,
It's a lot of fucking work, but to have it on a platform, and people are like, well, kids are gonna see it anyways. Well, like if as a parent, and you go through a platform, you're like, well, when I was raised as a kid, Twitch was like gaming, and then
yeah.
all these kids raising
No,
up to be kid or parents are gonna be like, cool. And so when they look at parental controls and they don't see the headlines, they're gonna be like, okay, well, I'm gonna let my kid watch Twitch because that's about gaming or something.
right, right,
um
right.
but unfortunately it's not anymore. It used to be back
No,
then, and it's not, and that's okay. That's okay that Twitch has evolved into gaming, just chatting, and I'm gonna say it to kick, drama, sex work, hot tubs, content, like content so loose that it could be anything now. And
right.
people who aren't degenerates online like myself may not know that. Like my dad will pop in and be like, oh, my dad, or sorry, my son is streaming on Kick, or my son is streaming on Twitch. And the reason why he knows that is because he's like, oh, he loves video games, so this platform is about video games because I tell him about it. But my young cousin who pops in on Twitch is like, oh, my cousin Greg is playing games, but I see all these fucking random streams that are
Yeah,
promoted on the
yeah.
platform saying,
Yo, the front page is crazy.
body
Like,
painting,
yeah,
implied
yeah, yeah,
nudity, and
yeah.
then it's tough to
I
say,
see that
hey,
aspect of it for sure.
and
Absolutely.
it's tough to
Yep.
say, hey, dad, I stream playing video games, but my younger cousin who's like 15 will be like, well, Greg's on Twitch and there's a bunch of boobs, and
Yeah,
I'm not afraid of boobs, but like, damn, like, and
yeah.
like I know kid, like I found my first porn site at 13 too, and like I get it too.
Right. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Like
But
if
it's
I'm
like,
a
damn,
that
like my cousin thinks that I'm on this like
no,
weird site.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely 100%. So like we know that we went on the internet and we found things
And
because
we
we
found
weren't
that
looking for it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
What you're saying is the people that aren't looking for those things are gonna find this thing in a place that they shouldn't. Like
Exactly.
and I completely get that. And that's absolutely legit because I I I agree with the artistic expression and I agree with everybody's hustle, but when you're on the front page of something and it's fucking titties and shit,
Yeah.
like that's a different story. Like that there's no locks in that. You know what I mean? There's no fucking like there's no control over that part. Twitch is gonna promote the highest fucking moneymaker that they can.
Yeah.
So when we see these
Absolutely.
metas come out, like these black bar shits and all that stuff, like that's legit. So I can see where the mindset absolutely is why is this so openly available? Like why is this
Right.
so openly available?
Yeah.
And this is where as a parent, I take over this part for myself because I can't control what anybody else does. Whether I agree or disagree with anything that they do, my job as a parent is to explain to them, like, listen, you're gonna see some stuff, and if you have questions, I need you to talk to me about it. There's stuff that I will never be able to stop you from seeing, and I will never be able to stop you from getting involved in. Even when you do your absolute very best parental controls on everything,
Yeah.
yo, literally, I was sitting in the bathtub the other day. My kids were watching a fucking YouTube reel over like of like a bunch of like TikTok uh fucking like child streamers, like they played like Five Nights at Freddy's and all these
Oh,
other
okay.
games,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Right? In the middle of that, I heard, fuck you, bitch, I'll fuck your mother.
Oh my god.
What? So this
Yeah.
one little clip got caught in the middle of all of this. So what I learned from that was, at the end of the day, regardless of how much I want everything to be censored and stopped,
Super perfect. Yeah.
I can't. So I have to do my job as a parent and be like, yo, listen, you understand that this stuff is just it's entertainment. It's not real,
Yeah.
right? This
Yeah.
stuff is a fucking joke. It is for entertainment. It's to get laughs. It's to get cries. It's to do all this other stuff. Like, it's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
right? It really happens all the time. So I've taken the mindset out of, I can't control the way anybody else does anything, but I can control the way that my kids understand how things are perceived
Yeah.
by explaining and teaching them the right way to look at stuff. That just fucking change any of that. So, like, when I was on Twitch, I had people coming and talking about coming in my fucking 5-year-old daughter.
Hey
That's
yo.
crazy, right? Like, that's fucked up. That's extremely crazy. But instead of making a massive deal out of it, you know what I did? I fucking banned them. I stopped the messages, and that's it. That was it. Because if I go and I take this to Twitter, all it does is
Oh,
become this big
and
nonsense
yeah, big
thing that
bubble.
doesn't make any sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what I did was I did my job. I stopped it. I said, "Fucking see you later."
Absolutely. And not to interrupt you,
I
but
see that host.
yeah, thank
Hell
you.
yeah,
You know,
vibes.
so Captain,
Big vibes.
you and I are in the same boat because I have your chat right here. I got my chat right
you,
here,
baby.
dude.
Like
Nitsy.
good on the hosting, baby.
Absolutely, dude. Nitsy's he's a RuneScaper, he's a PKer. And actually Nitsy came
awesome.
by on my Twitch streams a long time ago, and he just kind of hang out and shit like that. Nitsy, thank you, bro.
That's awesome.
And it's so that's a crazy perspective, right? Because like, you know, you're a parent, right? And and I think I respect you a lot because I feel like when I see you, you know, I don't see you as my dad, but like I see the same type shit that my dad would put down me and shit like that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And you know, I think you're on the right path, and it's like the thing that really hurts me, not hurts me, but like the let's just say that people who viewed me, and I'm not trying to be cliche, but I'm just a good vibes, you know, back down below. I used to be Good Vibes official. I'm GoodVibesGreg now on Kick. And when I went on Kick streaming, people were like, "Oh, this guy's like A, B, C." Like I could feel it, right? Like people thought, people thought I was the nastiest guy. Yeah. And I'm like, number one, I hate being part of the system, and I would rather get paid for who I am. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, thank God. Yeah. You know what? I will say thank you, Twitch, for letting me build a platform. But now, you know, the fruits of my labor, I would rather be on Kick for the 95.5. Yeah, that's fine. And then number two, man, I get to now reset myself. I get to reset myself. Yeah. I get to be, you know, I get to be a RuneScaper. Sometimes I get to be WoW. I get to be Lethal Company. I get to be Rocket League. I get to be Just Chatting. I get to be podcasts. I get to build music. And, you know, that was to my end. I could have done that on Twitch too, but it could have been way harder. But on Kick, it makes it easy because right now, at the moment, it is a prime time to go be a creator.
It's way nice.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's
up, Drake?
It's like, it's just a really fucking nice time to be a part of this fucking industry. I mean, I like you said it right there. You could have done it anywhere. But like the feeling that you get doing it here, do you think that you can get that feeling somewhere else?
You know, if I worked really hard, I couldn't get that on TikTok. If I worked really hard, I couldn't get it on YouTube. If I worked really hard, I don't think I could have gotten it on Mixer, maybe. And I say that because I used to work in the parent company of Mixer.
Right.
But I worked really hard on Twitch. And because Kick is so similar in some aspects, and that is a really good thing, yeah, I could get it on Kick. And if I that's the thing too, is like if I worked really hard on Twitch, potentially, but definitely not on the game that I was streaming. And like I love all the creators on RuneScape, but there's no room for me, and that's okay.
Do you think the feeling that you would have gotten though, making it or not, where do you feel comfortable? Where do you feel good? Like,
Yeah.
because I've led so much more into the feeling of being a streamer than actually streaming, where like sometimes like this whole thing turns into a job so much that you just forget the fact that you're an entertainer, and you're supposed to entertain people, and you're supposed to do your
Mm-hmm.
thing, or facilitate community, or facilitate conversation, or challenge people and this and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get into this like path of, I need to do this to get somewhere, and then you forget yourself.
Yeah.
Kick
And
reminded me of who the fuck I was. It really,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
everybody
that's a good
like
point.
everybody that I was around reminded me like, yo, stop being a bitch. Stop being a bitch. Stop being a slave to the industry. Just
Absolutely, man.
fucking do your shit. And like all of my friends reminded me to just do my shit. And I said, you know what? So like I walked in fucking chat rooms, like I had the biggest dick swinging, just because I wanted to connect with the people in that chat room, the communities that
Yeah.
people had, the vibes that everybody was doing. That shit didn't happen on other platforms. Everything was, if I do for you, you need to do for me. It was some mafia shit.
Yep.
Like over here, it's like friendship. Like
Absolutely.
what the fuck was friendship in this industry?
It's
Like we
scary,
didn't get
man,
that.
because I've gotten so many more friends here on Kick versus Twitch, and and this is not, I'm multi-streaming on both, and I don't even know if they're watching, but
Yeah.
I can name a couple on my hands that are meant a lot, and I meant a lot to them. But when I was grinding on the Twitch category, there were maybe 30 to 40, I would say, that I thought I was cool with, and
Yep.
a lot of them disconnected from me, and that's okay because I know they're on their Twitch grind, and I get it. But like a simple DM, and like vice versa, I gave them a DM,
Yeah.
but the friendship fell through. It felt like, oh, I like Greg because he does A, B, and C, and that's okay. And I get that. I get the value of knowing knowledge, and knowing shit on stream and knowing shit on Twitch. But then after I became unuseful and I went to Kick, that was it.
Man, how was that feeling though? Like,
It's
we're gonna
relieving.
get real with it.
It's
Like,
relieving.
cause like,
It's
yeah,
relieving. And
fuck, man.
it makes me
Oh, I felt that.
prioritize people that I like,
Yeah,
you, obviously,
yeah,
Fluff,
yeah. Like,
um Denny, and just like certain people on the team, my community. I've relied heavy on them, and they understand too that, oh, certain A, B, and C, they don't really come through anymore, which I get, and I get.
yeah,
Um,
yep,
but it's not my problem anymore because, hey, I don't. So this is the on and off switch for a creator. I don't give a fuck what you like or not. Here I am.
right,
This is me. You come on
right,
by.
right,
You get
right.
what I get, and guess what?
Yeah,
I will support you, and I will
hmm,
shout you out because I like what you do. And you keep
yeah,
coming in, I still will be the same guy. You know
yep,
what I mean? So
absolutely. That that shit right there. That's something that not a lot of. So like, I'm watching some of these Twitch streamers come over to Kick, and they're using the same Twitch mentality over here, and
sure.
I'm literally trying to break everybody. I'm like, yo, listen, you don't have to do that shit over here. Like, we're just good people. You
Yeah.
gotta stop. You gotta stop trying. You got like, listen, just be you. Just be you.
Be
And like
genuine.
everybody fucking here has been literally the most receptive people I've ever met. I don't care if it's fake or not. I'm telling you that just the reception has been
Yeah.
publicly amazing. Like, it doesn't. We understand that there's certain forms of stuff that is business, and there's certain forms of stuff that is personal,
Mm-hmm.
and all of those have a place in this industry. if you're being kind in all of those, you're doing good. And I've never been met with anything but that over here. The viewers and the trolls and this and that all day, like, fuck them. I don't. That's
Who
awesome.
cares?
I love that shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, vibe with it. Like,
It's just the same wherever you go. You're gonna be like, hey Cap, your beard sucks. And it's like, whatever. All right.
Right. And that's a fun time for me. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
And every time you pop up Twitter and you see the shit, it's like some Twitch streamer telling some Kick streamer that look at the shit that they have going on over there. Or you have some Kick streamer telling Twitch streamers that look at the shit that they have going on there. Like, you guys understand that none of this has anything to do with the fucking streamer in question.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't do shit. It was just a fucking person came in and you decided to make content out of it.
Yeah.
That's a vibe. Do it. But also understand that that's not the view of an entire platform by the people that created it.
No.
It's sometimes we get looked aside and shit happens. Like it does.
It's insane that you bring that up because, like, you know, the whole Ice Poseidon stuff and everyone was like roasting and shit like that, and that was towards Ice Poseidon as a person. Go off, you know what I mean? But like Greg or Kaptain or whoever,
right? Like, how am I associated with him?
We're just
how am I part of that?
Yeah, we're bringing a good vibe. We're playing games. We're talking about good stuff,
right?
And you know, we're not hiring whatever for content. And then, you know, you flip it around and you're like, hey, you're on a platform with A, B, and C. And then everyone's like, oh, whoa, buddy. Hey,
it's okay because it's this and that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, hey, you know, dude, it's just the hypocrisy
of it.
Thank you. I'm so drunk. I was gonna fail that so bad.
Nope. Hypocrisy. I got you, baby.
And I view this everywhere in my life, man, where I'm like, I will think of every perspective. I will really try. And I'm like, you know what? I was a dick. But in other lights of my life, I'm like, I was good. You know, and that's always gonna be life, you know, as a human. But people who are like using that for content and analytics and driving their growth and being greedy and trying to push a creator down, whether you're Twitch Kick or a fellow friend.
Yo, fuck yeah.
It's like, what are you doing, dude? This is not the
another motherfucker. To elevate yourself. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yo, there's a couple pieces of shits out there that's been doing it for a little bit. And we saw some fucked up tweets and shit. But like, goddamn. Like, there's some motherfuckers out there that use their stature to say words because they think that they're important. You're no more important than the next motherfucking human being right next to you.
Yeah.
You can get dropped down immediately.
Oh, like, dude, the person that you put down will be above you in time. Because you keep acting a certain way. Yeah.
Or they already are. And you're just jealous of them.
Here's the thing. And I'm gonna use my community. You know, when I say something and I'm like, hey, this is where that situation is, and someone try to bring me down, my community is gonna look at me and be like, no, Greg, you're actually above that. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what the internet perceives you, you know, as a creator. I could go both ways. It could be really toxic or positive. You could get validated by your community and be like, hey, this guy's doing a really good way. And I really believe that too. And certain people where they're coming off genuine and not lying to their community. And if you're lying to your community, quit this job, quit this career, quit this hobby.
Yeah.
What's the fucking point? You know what I mean?
That's legit, big, hard, 100%. If you're not doing it, if you're not being genuine, they will know. They're gonna know.
Oh yeah, like, dude. People who fucked with you and you're like, this is not Kaptain. This is not Greg.
Right.
They won't fuck with you anymore. And then as a creator, we're like, why don't these people come around? If you can't connect the dots, you're fucked. It's always going to be a never-ending circle.
Like, there's a motherfucker out there that ruined his whole fucking career with one fucking tweet and he doesn't even know it. That's the most beauty of things, is just the fact that the most professional people in the world who give a fuck about each other will crumble you without saying a fucking word.
Yeah, man.
That's the most beautiful shit ever. Like,
I don't want you to name drop, but like, what's the tweet? What's the tweet? You know, like, or how do you explain the situation?
the situation is somebody who was doing really well was talking about how well they were doing.
Okay.
And other people in the community were promoting how well they were doing. Somebody decided to do a mocking tweet of that person. And at the end of the day,
Oh, you know what?
they ousted themselves
Yeah.
and fucked all that shit up.
Yeah. Was this recent?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think I know it, and I'm not gonna say it, obviously.
Yeah, no, because
But
we won't.
obviously not. But when I read it too on Twitter, and this is very loose for my community. When I read it though, I saw, you know, people in my algorithm, my friends, if you will, they were celebrating shit. And then when people come after somebody celebrating their shit, and the cool part is when I look at this person, right? I'm so happy for them because I've been there.
Yeah.
I really have. And I'm so lucky that I have been there. And I'm lucky that I'm still there. And that's the cool part. And I think as creators, when you see people celebrate their wins, just remember, you have been there. And guess what?
Yeah.
You are still there. It doesn't matter if they're getting X amount or X amount of followers or X amount of exposure.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. And creators should know, hey, you are there. You have, and for people who are like really self-confident,
Sensuals, hell yeah.
You built a thank you. Yeah, thank you, Sensuals.
Yeah.
You have built a beautiful community. You have got to hang out with amazing people. You won, dude, and you keep going.
Yep.
And so that might have been a long-winded statement, but again, to Citral's point, I'm very I'm very happy. And I'm not even gonna get too specific on this person, but this guy, I did a 24-hour stream and I knew he was my friend. You know how? I stayed up 24 hours and he got to hang out with me. He was even, you know, he was doing good stuff, but he just hung out with me 3, 4, 5 a.m. his time, and he passed out on the phone in voice chat with me. And I said, you know what? That's a good friend. You know what? He wanted to talk to me, provide content, keep me up. And then he passed out on the phone and I disconnected him. And I said, you know what? That's a good friend in my book. He wasn't getting paid for that shit.
Are we talking about the homie that is succeeding, or the homie that did this shit?
No. Homie that's succeeding.
All right.
Homie that is succeeding. Yeah. Exactly.
Here's the deal. Denny's a motherfucker. Like, that dude kills it.
Absolutely, man.
I love that shit.
Absolutely.
Like, that kid should have every fucking recognition ever in the entire history of recognition. Like, I've never got to see the start, the transformation. I don't want to say the start because I didn't get to see the start.
No,
I got to see the transformation.
Yeah, it's like 6 years in the making.
I'm so fucking proud of this kid. Like, I literally, like, he makes me better.
He motivated me to do music, dude.
Yeah.
And vice versa, right? You're going into music too.
Dude, I'm literally like, I got Fluff, Denny, I got you, I got everybody promoting me. I never wanted to play. Dude, I used to play fake guitar over on Twitch. I used to mute my mic and I used to just vibe out and fake jam out to songs.
Yeah.
And then because my hands were so fucked up, they shake all the time. So I didn't think that I could do guitar anymore. And then all of a sudden I just kept playing and I just kept going and kept going. And now I'm pushing into like moments of time because I have fucking literal creative minds around me motivating me and elevating me. If I had a motherfucker that told me that shit on me for my success, they would be out instantly. Like,
yeah,
I'll tell you right now that success is how you measure it. And if anybody ever shit on my success, they'll be shitting on just my ambitions and my dreams. And fuck them. They can eat my
Yeah.
asshole. Like, not even in a good way. Like, if anybody wants to like
In a
my
weird
asshole,
way.
like call me up. Like that's what's up. I'm just saying, I really don't want, for the first time in my whole streaming career, I feel like we have a stronghold on the industry of positivity.
Yeah. I like that, man.
We can be negative. We could be negative because we need to show people what negative is. But the way that we act and the way that we treat other people cannot be negative. We
Yeah.
cannot do that. We have a higher purpose in this industry than just to fucking let this thing consume us. And since that mindset happened 6 months ago, I came over here. Since that mindset happened, all I've been doing is, even in my worst mental times, been the best version I could be. This shit is crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
people like fucking like 16-year-old Denny. You know what I mean? Like,
No way,
fucking
dude.
Denny, my little bro. Like,
Oh, my little bro. He is a little brother, dude. We look
my
at
little
him
guy,
and we look at him and
he's
we're
a
like so happy,
motivator.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he makes me better as a person. He really does. And you make me better as a person. And fucking Fluff makes me a better person. And everything at the end of the day is, how can I be the best version of me? I might not have the best stream every day, because that's not a realistic situation. You can't have the best stream every day. You
No,
can strive for it.
dude, you know what? I'm sorry, just like to skirt by.
Yeah, hit it.
The first couple, maybe even years or months or whatnot, and it's a work in progress. And like I had like killer streams on Twitch, and I had killer streams on Kick, and it would go up and down, up and down, up and down. And as a creator, and this is anybody watching this right now, it's okay. It's okay. You're gonna have amazing, fucking crazy days, and you're gonna stop stream. You're gonna hit that OBS or Streamlabs OBS button, and be like, stop it, and you're like, holy shit, that was nuts.
Yep.
And then the next day, it might be like that, and the next day, it might not. And the next day it might be, and it's like, that's just how it is. And the wisdom that I'm going to say is, work on yourself. Be you. Always be you. If something worked back in the day and it was like generating money or generating growth or generating views, it doesn't matter. That's not sustainable. The sustainable part is you saying the same shit, you being you doing what, and then people are going to be attracted to that and be like, you know what, I like going to Kaptain's stream, because like if I pop in, and guess what, I go on your stream and I pop in, I know what I'm going to expect. It's either you being mental awareness in terms of your health or people's health, get into some serious arguments that are in a good way, or like number three, you're gonna fucking shit talk Case Cooking, and I don't give a fuck, dude, because you're funny.
Yep. That's at the end of the day, I think most streamers just have to accept that I either need to just understand that I'm gonna be accepted as who I am, or I'm gonna try to be fake.
Yeah.
And there's really only one route that works in the longevity, because you can only hold a character for so long. You could only be fake for so long. At the end of the day, people are gonna want to see who you are. They're going to appreciate you for the person that you're becoming. Some of the people that have been around, and they're still around from like almost 5 years now.
Sure.
They saw how fucked up I was in the beginning.
You know, it's crazy.
I was as a person.
I probably wouldn't like you, to be honest, dude.
Fuck no. No, fuck no. Like, legitimately.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like me. like I didn't like me. So when you look back at things and you go, God damn, like the amount of time that I've gone through some shit, and I I started getting the mental help I needed and all these other stuff, things started changing. But I was literally a mouthpiece for all the right things to say, but I was the
Mhm.
guy who never did anything about it. So I had all the right answers, but I never worked on it. And then all of a sudden I started working on it. I started like going through the process and I was like, oh shit, now I can take my what would be $250 an hour fucking therapy appointments and I can put it in the
Yeah.
masses and show them the tools that you can have in this whole mental health capacity. So my importance grew. The more broke I was, the more important I became
Mm-hmm.
because I was using the tools to fix myself and also showing people the same tools and saying, hey, I'm fucked, but
Yeah.
here we go. Like, let's go on this journey. We can be fucked together. And also, here's $250 an hour worth of
Uh,
fucking knowledge. Here
yeah.
you
Yeah.
go.
No, I mean, and I know that I probably would benefit from therapy, but I,
You're
uh,
in therapy, you're in group therapy, and
I
you don't
yeah,
even realize it.
that's probably a good way to even explain that. Yeah, I probably am in group therapy.
You're in group therapy right now
Yeah.
with your chat room.
Yeah.
That literally this is that is therapy.
Yeah.
Is comfort from people, and everybody will benefit from learning tools, but you can read a book, you can get an audio book, you can do anything to get all those tools that therapy offers. Like
Yeah.
there's literally a book called Tools by Dr. Stutz. It's an amazing book, right? You could do that. But you're doing therapy in your way and it's beautiful. And I benefit from that. I watch what you do in your stream and how the community interacts and all that stuff. That is exactly what therapy is supposed to be. Like that comfort, that connection, that
Yeah.
is therapy. Like
I
that's the beauty of it.
I almost cried because Dave says every time you ask if we fuck with you and we say yes, that's therapy.
Mm,
Holy shit. Yeah, no, that's a fucking read, man. That is.
yeah.
Because I guess, yeah, in a way, and I know some of my real life friends came after me and be like, you're only streaming because you're trying to get validated. And like at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
at the end
Fuck
of the
it.
day, yeah, yeah, a little bit.
Fuck
And
it. Absolutely.
but number
Why
two,
not?
but number two is like I know who I am,
Yep.
so I guess that validation does help me to keep moving the way that I want to move.
Yeah.
But it just like it's so weird because it's like I'm not gonna change. So yeah, I do ask like, hey, are you guys okay? And when people say, yeah, we're all right, I'm like, okay, we are moving the right way that I want it to go.
Yep.
And to be honest, if my chat was like, hey, Greg, I thought I knew you, and then you were like no longer the type of person I knew, I would change. But something that speaks to me in volumes, and I'm sorry that I'm shutting myself a lot, but like in
No, I
my
want this.
in
Keep
in
going.
in my journey, ever since I started 2.5 years ago. God, look at his legs, dude. Look at his like thighs. I'm sorry, my bad. No. In the last 2.5 years, people who started to fuck with me still fuck with me, and that speaks volumes. I have
Yeah.
never changed. People still come and be like, oh man, I'm feeling low on myself, or hey, I'm feeling really good about myself. You know who I'm gonna tune in? I'm gonna go check out Greg because I know every Friday it's his birthday. I'm gonna go hang out with him, and it's the same old, same old. I come in, I'm like, yo, dude, I haven't seen you in like 8 months, bro. How you been? This and that, and
Yep. Yep.
I'm just really happy about how things have become.
Let me ask you this question. What's the number of people to feel validated with that? Let let me explain it first. So for me, I felt so alone when I started it that when one person said to me that I helped them, that was it. Like that, I was locked in. Like I
Yeah.
knew I needed it.
Yeah.
Right. So like for me now, right now, it's not the same. I don't have that same fucking like drive as that one person mindset.
Yeah.
Like I'm completely honest about it. If I help one person, I'm very happy. But I don't feel that validation from one person anymore like I used to. What's that number that you can feel like you impacted that makes your time worth it? Not worth it. That's
No,
a
I know what you mean.
shitty. You know my phrasing. Like
Yeah.
I fucked up on the phrasing, but like you have a value with your time.
Yeah.
So what is that number that you can say? I have reached this many people, so it validates my time.
That's actually a really good like perspective because like
Yeah, it's
um
fucky.
in the very beginning I was starting to meet a couple of people, and throughout the year, I'm not gonna name names, but like they would tell me, but like, hey, I'm this now, or somebody who I remember, I'm not gonna say their name, but they were really close minded, and now they're open minded, and now they text me on their
I love that shit.
open
I love that
mindedness
shit.
and their wins, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And people who don't come to my kick streams anymore, before that they were very open, and they still are. There's no bad feelings about it, but I know that I'm still affecting them in their everyday life through Twitter, YouTube,
Yeah.
Snapchat, whatever.
Yep.
But now, to your question, um fulfillment or like validation, whatever, anybody who has been in my community who will pop in, say hi, and still fuck with me, and it's probably up to like the hundreds now, which is amazing to even think about it, because like
Yo, it's
back
a
then,
wild, right?
yeah, back then in my perspective, it was like 10 people who would
Yeah.
pop in and watch me play RuneScape or Rocket League or Dead by Daylight or Resident Evil,
Yeah.
and just like, hey
I
Greg.
keep that mindset so hard in my
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah,
Like,
it is insane to even think about that. People will come in and now just say what's up, and it is now into like the 100 to 200s, and it's like insane. And it's probably more than that, but like in terms of a core community throughout Discord, Twitter, Instagram, everything, right? It's got to be the 2 to 300s, and I just feel like, damn, dude, like every week, if I owned a business and people pop in, I mean, that's sick, dude, to have a business, a local business, if you will, and just say, I'm gonna come in, drink some beer, and just chill with you. That's essentially what streaming is to me.
yeah, yes, right. So is what you're saying is there's not technically a number to it. It's just
No.
a feeling of what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a
Right?
feeling. I can never give you the direct number, because there are people who
There
will,
isn't.
yeah,
Right.
and
there's
there are
no-
some days people will pop in that haven't talked to me in like 8 months, and they're like, oh my god, hey, how you doing? And I'm just like, I remember you as like my first fucking 50th follow, dude. What the
Yeah.
fuck is up? How are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then that day for me, it's like, that's a win.
Yeah.
That's a win. I haven't talked to this
Yeah.
person
Yes.
for so long. How are you doing? How's your cats? How's your fucking fiance?
Fuck. That is like that's fuck. That's so huge because that's the measurement of success for me is that ability to know those moments of time that you had in your career. They
Mm-hmm.
might not have been there for the last 6 months, but to remember that moment in your career, my biggest fear for me is to forget where the fuck I came from
Yeah.
and to be something that I wasn't. Because like in my mind, I remember how shitty it was and how other streamers treated people and
Oh,
how all
right,
that
dude.
happened. Like just that, like it was like instant. As soon as somebody made something, they forgot you. Boom, see you later. And it was like, all right. At the end of the day, your worth is how much you mean to somebody else. And we as streamers are just entertainers doing whatever the fuck we can to help other people in their lives.
Yeah, man.
And I think that we're doing just a really good job over here with that. I just really think that we're like I gotta be honest, like I think that like the people that we've interacted with and the people we've been a part of over here have just been a better vibe for the people in all of our communities.
Mm-hmm.
It's I've never felt more confident going, go over to this person and fucking hang out with them. You're gonna enjoy it. I've
I feel.
never felt more confident than that
Yeah. Yeah.
in any time in my career than right now, where I can go, yo, you're gonna vibe with this motherfucker real well. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like
Oh, I will tell my community. I'm like, we got a couple dads and uncles, dude. Like, let me move you on over.
yeah,
If you need a certain vibe that I give, damn well that I'm gonna move it on
yep,
over and provide that vibe. And I trust you. I trust you to have fun and hang out with them. For people who are
right,
looking for that type of fun. And you know what?
right.
That's the thing as a creator too. When people get rated, you may not fuck with me as much as the other person. That's okay. But I feel like I'm entrusted to now take care of your community. And I'm
Yeah,
just gonna say it like the raid from Nitzy. I mean, Nitzy knows
yeah,
me. Nitzy knows that, hey, this guy's a good vibe. If you
yeah.
need the vibe, he'll talk to you. The way that Nitzy talks to his community, I will provide the same vibe. And that's why I respect people who raid. It's not exposure or anything like that. I want people
No,
to raid me because, like, that's how you see me as a creator. And, like, if you take care of your community a certain way, I will do the same for you.
it's not about obligation. It's
Yeah.
about entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
You don't feel like you have to do something because of your affiliation. And I'm gonna go back to like the thing that we hit on with Twitch is like I absolutely 100% got made to feel like I needed to do that over there more so than over here because of
Mm-hmm.
my affiliation with people. I was like,
Absolutely.
yo, like if you didn't fuck with this person, like you wouldn't have gotten the same treatment. And I think with that saturated market, it creates that animosity. Where over here I go, you know what? Like I look at my list and I'm like, and you know that I fucking stream at
Morning.
the shit time, yeah, the morning time,
Yeah.
right? So when I go and do my raid out,
When I see you
sometimes
on night, by the way, I'm just like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm like, oh my god, Captain's on nighttime, dude. Let's go talk to him, dude.
yo, it fucks me up. Like,
But yeah, no, what you're saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
no, so when I do when I do my raid out, like part of my brain goes like I'm required to raid out to these people in my own head because of
Yeah.
a community.
Obligation.
And I created that in my own mind, right?
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, I realized my outreach can be more beneficial to my community.
Yeah.
So if I go ahead and go, okay, I was playing a scary game. I'm gonna go ahead and lead into another person playing a scary game instead of leading
Mm-hmm.
into just the community.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can branch out. But when I do that, I make sure I give 10 to 15 minutes of time in that chat room.
And just say hi. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I raid out to the community, I know that I can raid and dip
Yep.
because I'm exhausted and I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Bam. I know that. If I raid out to outward, I'm now a nomad leader. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
nomad leader, and my
And
requirement
you have to
is
give that
to
energy.
promote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, so when we raid out, it's like, yo, listen, I never require you guys to give this energy to any chat rooms, just support. But at
Mm-hmm.
this point in time, I need you to come hard, real hard. I need you
Excuse
to
me?
be there. Oh, yeah. And that's where I sit there and I go like, I need
Absolutely, though.
you to come here because I need you guys to show that we are doing LS shit. We're doing Seven Kevin shit. We're doing fucking yo. We're setting off vibes right now, and I've met more people through that mentality than that I have at the self-absorbed raid.
Yeah.
So, how do we, as a vibe, how do we keep pushing the name and everything that we're doing, and continue to elevate, but not leave our own behind?
Yeah.
That's always been my question in my own mind is like, if I raid out to somebody else, am I fucking one of my own people up? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's a tough balance because like and you know I think you, I, and Fluff, because those are the only people that I talked about this. You guys can view it the same way, where it's like, well, LS knows that we fuck with LS. It's like
right.
people who are like in their journey should not. This is the tough part about a content creator, is that you need to do everything you need to do in your path to grow. And people who raid you, that's a cherry on top. People who come into your chat, you know, that are new, that's a cherry on top, and that is when you get to sell yourself. But you know, on the stream team, and like that's why there's no rule to raid LS stream team members, because it's like, how are you going to grow? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's the outrage.
We're all already lurking on everybody.
Absolutely.
And you raid out the same person that everybody's lurking on.
Exactly.
You just lose all those viewers. Like, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, you're raiding with the same viewers that the viewers may already be on. And so that's the outreach. And that's what I'm hoping next year, now that we've gotten some seeds planted on this podcast, you know, we go hang out with people that we haven't talked to, that I've personally myself, that I know, like a couple people where I'm like, hey, would you ever be on a podcast? And they're like, yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah. So that's the tough part as a content creator. You need to know that your homies need to know that your friends, even though you don't raid them out every week or every other week, look, a raid's going to come your way no matter what, and you need to be,
absolutely.
You need to be confident.
Everyone gets hit with one.
Exactly. And you need to be confident that your friends will look after you eventually. But you are in the same space that Kaptain is, or the same space that I am at, or same space that Denny's at, or Fluff.
We're all the exact same.
Exactly. Yeah. That they are trying to do the same. They're trying to grow, and they will raid you eventually as well. But they want to raid you with new people. When I get new people, I'm like,
elevate your community. Absolutely. Yeah.
And you want to cultivate too. That's the big part. You want to cultivate members. You're like, hey, look, you've been in my community for about 3 weeks, by the way. Guess what? I do a podcast with Kaptain. I can vouch for this guy. I hang out with this guy almost every other week, more than his wife. You know what I mean? He loves me more than his wife. For real.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
What? But that's the thing. That's the thing.
Cat right across my keyboard. God damn.
No, wait, dude. Liz, we're gonna cut this. We're gonna cut this, Liz. Man, Cap, I'm gonna say it, dude. And I know, like, we have been talking like we're on a podcast, but like, I love you, dude. Like, you're a W guy, bro.
For real. Like, the things that we're gonna do in the future, and like, what's great is like, we're doing the conversation that we talked about that we were gonna do this weekend. We're doing it live. That's beautiful.
Oh, we are. Yeah, we are.
Like, it's beautiful. And this is the thing, to everybody out there that's listening to this, yo, if you want to be a part of something, just let us know. We're gonna get some shit together, and we literally want to make 2024 branch out so that everybody gets a little piece of the pie. Everybody should get a little piece of the pie, right? And we need more depth with what we're doing all the time. Every little aspect of this industry I know that you want to fucking get into, and I want to get into, but we
We're
can't do
hungry.
it without other people fucking vibing with us. So you do something different than what the fuck we're doing. Bring that shit to the table. Like, we want that shit so hard. Because if we can elevate anybody and elevate ourselves at the same time, it's such a good win for everybody. So if LS gets promoted, Good Vibes gets promoted, Cap gets promoted, every guest gets promoted. What the fuck is the wrongdoing in that? That's just literally people networking out of love.
Absolutely.
The best network. Oh, makes me so fucking hard thinking about it.
I gotta pee. I gotta pee so bad, bro.
Do it. I'm really glad we did this. This is also another push in my mental health shit and being so comfortable with the people that I conversate with. Like, this is where it works. This is where it really works. Also, Drake is playing still. And he ain't giving me my motherfucking $5. God damn it. Bullshit. Yo,
this might be the first drunk
reign to all my content, period. Like, literally.
And guess what?
You don't have to have permission. Period.
No, I know, dude. I know, dude. You have free reign on me, by the way.
Ooh.
Okay, never mind. Anyway.
Let's bust it. What?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yo, that shit's fire, man. Yo, my bad, Chad. My bad, Chad.
Look, I farted, but I muted OBS, so you might have heard my fart. Anyway.
No,
no,
you
dude.
got good buffers on. You're good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully. Thank God, dude. Please.
My ears never have any pain when you're involved in them, by the way. Neither does my throat, even though I take it all the way down it. What? Sorry, cat ran across the keyboard. My bad. My bad, chat. My bad, chat. That's my fault. That's my fault.
You're such a W though, man. You are, man. You really are. I'm just it's fun. It's so funny that you just meet the people that you do, man.
I've never thought, honestly, I've always been half accepted.
Okay, like a black sheep.
What I mean by
a black sheep?
Yeah.
No,
like,
absolutely. Me too.
Like, you're accepted for your name, but not for who you are as a person. And it's like, I never used any of my humor to hurt anybody. I always used it because it just took down some depression or any So like my my way of humor sometimes is misconstrued as misogynistic or shitty or whatever way. It is what it is. And I understand that 100%. But it always came from a place of love. And I got over here and it's like, goddamn, like people just got it.
Yeah.
Like I see myself now and I change some of the behaviors that I do because I don't like the way that I see myself doing it. Because I haven't looked at myself for a lot of this time doing this. I never did that. Honestly, this podcast was the only thing that ever made me look at any of my content was because I had somebody else involved with it. Like, I literally, and it's fucked me up and made me better, but it's fucked me up because I literally look at it and I'm like, God damn it, I fucked this up at this point, and I fucked this up here, and I did this here, and I know that in the overall grand scheme of things, that's not the case.
No,
But
it's not, dude.
As a perfectionist and as somebody who wants to have the best for anybody else, anytime I do something I feel is wrong, it fucks me up for time. And like as our podcast episodes go on, like I'm gonna dial it in more and more. The problem is I don't want to leave myself And I feel like I will do that. Sometimes I just have to go like, yo, you're gonna be a piece of shit. Just accept yourself for who you
Mm-hmm.
are. Because
But
I literally look at it and I go, like, fuck, I'm gonna fuck this shit up so bad. And if I go into our podcast doing that, then I will fuck it up.
yeah.
Like I will fuck it up with that mindset. That's why I always told you, like, I don't want to know most of the questions. I don't want to know any of the answer, none of that shit. Because I need to just like fly by
Say
the cusp.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, I'm gonna talk about something like when you and I did that Chuck podcast.
Oh, I
I
loved
think
it. I loved it, by the way.
that was literally one
Hey.
of the most beautiful moments of our time as co-hosts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I felt it so hard. Like I literally like I knew that what we were doing with each other was super homoerotic. And
I knew you were gonna say something, bro.
I felt like we just we did really good support as co-hosts together. Like that was something that really stood out to me.
Yeah.
And Chuck killed it. You know what I mean? But
Oh, I loved it.
he's very opinionated, very strong-headed, and it was
Absolutely.
beautiful. And that was like the opening to like, hey, this can be our future.
Yeah.
We could have if you could have Chuck on, you could have any fucking guest. And we were still learning each other and still doing that. And
Guess
I
what?
was like,
Guess
God
what?
damn, like it was beautiful.
Oh yeah. And guess what? I knew. And guess what? I love Chuck. And there's things that I will not agree with what Chuck has said
Absolutely.
outside the podcast, but I still like Chuck a lot. And
Yeah.
going into it, you know, we got to talk about a lot of different things. And you pulled me back, or I pulled you back, and that's why
Yeah.
we're a really good podcast team.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, for real. For real.
yeah, and that I just content, and you and I um can just do whatever we want to do. You know, I really trust you as much as you trust me into
Big
making
hard.
really good content, man. And
Big hard.
that's the cool fucking part about doing shit like this. It doesn't matter, you know, because
And we're breaking
that's
the mold of this too.
yeah.
Like we're breaking the mold of this 100%. Like every other thing has always ever been like the closest of the close do these things together. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
like even when you're talking like the big name people, like you got Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. They did
Yeah.
the Bears Cave. Like these two are best friends. They've been best friends for a real fucking long time, right? And they do that shit. How can we create somewhat the same content?
Yeah.
And I only say somewhat because I'm trying to humble myself. But I'm just saying, we put together something that you and I just literally were like, hey, we're gonna do this. And that was it. And
Yep.
then we just started doing it.
And then we did it. And
Like,
I don't know if it's because like your background as like in the military, and like me as like just I know who I am. I just say, okay, yeah, I'll do it.
yeah,
I'll own up to it. And when I say I'm gonna do it, that's a promise. That's it.
right, right.
You know? And
That
so
was
I think we have like
it's the word.
a good bunch of ingredients involved in like yeah, we can do it, dude. That's the crazy part about being a human. You Captain, that's the thing. Is like you tell
Like,
me, "Hey, Greg, I'm going to do A, B, and C. I trust you." And I tell Cap, "I'm going to do A, B, and C." That's it.
yeah.
That's it, dude. It's just ingredients at the end of the day.
Fuck, man. Like that shit feels so good.
Mhm.
Feels so good. It really like yo, we leave these podcasts and I feel so fucking elevated.
Good.
Like I literally walk
Me
out of these
too.
things and I literally am like the people we bring on and the way that we communicate with them because we don't have a script. Like
Oh no, I know we don't. That's the most amazing part is that I'm like sometimes I'm like what 2 episodes out of 6 I'm really hungover and I'm
yeah,
like I'm like looking at Cap and I'm like
yep.
Cap, please just say something.
Bam, here we go.
And then you say something, I'm like, oh thank God, I'm gonna say something now.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And I feel like
It's
our
such
minds
a
is
bounce.
yeah.
It's such a bounce back and forth. It really
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
And because the majority of the time I'm sitting there going like, okay, I've said too much now. Like how do I how do I balance this out? And how do I bounce this back and forth between who's in this and what we're doing, right? And like I think the best depiction of all of this was like Boofin and Terry's podcast.
Oh, I love
I
it.
think that was so good. Like they hosted it. We literally like we were the guests on that shit. The amount of questions that got bounced back to us.
I love
It's like,
boofing.
oh, you're like, oh, okay, okay. Very nice, very nice. I like that a lot. Like big vibes on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, sir.
maybe that's something that I really think that like we revisit. That might be something like we give them a corner of this podcast and say, hey, you guys did this really well. And every once in a while, like we might not want to be the fucking ones asking the question. Let's bounce it back the other way.
That would be cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like
some Terry
guest
or
host.
yeah,
Guest
exactly,
host.
dude.
Guest
Exactly.
host.
By
And
the way,
let it be anybody,
yeah.
Like let it be a vibe. Mm-mm.
I'm so drunk, by the way. My overlay, I was like shaking my head up and down, and the black and white is like jumping up and down with me. And I'm so fucked up, dude. I'm gonna tell
on real time, but on your time. Yes. I'm looking over. That's only you.
I think we should do these podcasts, you and me as well. You know what I mean? I like talking to guests, but I like talking to you, man. And I feel like you and me talk about certain, Twitch politics or kick politics or drama. And don't get me wrong, I hate fucking talking about drama, but it's kind of nice as a content creator.
You have to.
You kind of have to, man. You kind of.
Right, because you can turn a blind eye and be like, oh, I'm not looking at it. But everyone sees it. So if it's already there, then fucking make it part of your own. Why don't we? So I feel like what we need to do on Fridays.
Ooh, I like that.
We have to do a like, I will fucking hour this bad boy out.
Yeah.
I think we should do that. Because you're absolutely right. Like I really enjoyed this. 100%. But we can make it fun. Like
oh yeah.
And do all that. We don't have to, it doesn't have to be stringent, scheduled or anything like that. But
no.
Let me dedicate Fridays to LS.
Mm-hmm.
And we will have time slots and we fill those time slots. I'm going to be doing this for this amount of time.
Yeah.
And I want to have you do this with me. Right. So like, why don't we do that every Friday? And then we can then I can get more involved in the stuff that I need to do to help creation, which Liz will just do anyways. I won't be doing any of that.
W Liz.
Like that's W Liz for sure. Because I won't be doing because I don't have that skill. But like, why don't we make it where everybody knows, because we rush through chat on our podcast.
Yeah.
So why don't we give people an ability to have the conversation with us, not on the podcast?
Oh,
so
I
that
like
they
that.
can,
I
they
like
can
that.
talk about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
so if we bring up a big topic that is the topic of conversation for new streamers, they don't get to have a voice starting the podcast because we're doing that. This is your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Have that time, have that talk, and like let's schedule that, because I would fucking absolutely love that. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. No, that's good, dude. I like that too. I mean, we make it fun, right? Like, hey,
Yeah,
invite somebody who wants to get drunk with us, hang out, chill, whatever.
absolutely.
Talk
Yeah,
shop,
like-
talk shop, and
yeah.
like number two, whatever the dramatics of it is, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I dig that. Like, that's so. These are I'm throwing it on the list.
Yeah, throw on the list. Throw on the list, Captain. And you know what? 2024, it's gonna be beautiful.
I swear to God.
I have two people outside of LS that want to talk.
Oh fuck yeah, good shit. Yo, 2024 is gonna be a wild fucking ride. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be on top of it.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.